This tutorial is going to walk you through how to create your own personalized name tag to hang on the back of your computer to identify yourself. Since we're trying to identify ourselves, you're going to do your best to match what you look like with a specific website called Avatar Maker. So the first step is to find the Avatar Maker link, and it should probably be the first one that comes up if you just type in Avatar Maker. Go ahead and click on that site, and then you're going to choose a gender. Once you're in this browser, you have some choices. You're going to choose a face shape, eyes, and feel free to spend as much time as you need on this. You can change the color of the eyes, and that's specific to the eye shape, the eyebrow, all of the different parts of the eye can be adjusted. So look at the subheadings as you do your design. I'm going to do mine fairly quickly, just for a quick demonstration. I'm going to choose some hair. Unfortunately for boys, there aren't a lot of options for long hair, so I have seen boys switch to the girl gender just to get the right hair cut. And again, sometimes people get really picky about it and want to spend more time than we've really put into place for this. So just do your best with what these options have for you. And then make sure you choose a background. There's all these patterns, and then you can specify the color as well. So spend a little time creating your avatar to identify yourself, and then we're going to do a screen capture, which we'll do using some hotkeys or keyboard commands, quick keys. And to do that, you might already know this, but on a Mac you can go Command, Control, Shift, and 4. Notice that your cursor changes into a little crosshair, and you're just going to drag around the section you want to copy. And you'll hear a click if your speaker is on that tells you it's taken the picture of the section you want to keep. So now we're going to go into Illustrator, and we're going to create a new document. So if Illustrator isn't open yet, you probably need to make sure it's in your dock, in your setup, click on it, and then wait for it to load. But when you're ready to start a new document, go File, New, name it Name Tag, and your initials, just to make sure it doesn't get lost. Keeping things named untitled is always a bad idea. And the only thing we need to adjust here is make sure it's in inches and it says 8.5 by 11. Sometimes people have units set at points, and that can really foul you up when you're trying to create something with a specific size requirement. So I'm going to hit OK, and now I've got my workspace. So we're going to be creating a rectangle in here, but before we do that, let's make sure we've pasted in our avatar that we took a screen capture of. To do that, we're just going to go Command V, and you should see your avatar picture appear right into Illustrator. It may appear to be a little bit pixelated, but I'm going to hold my Shift key down and drag from the corner just to make it about half the size. And then I might even need to adjust it a little smaller also. So now I need to make a rectangle. We're going to be putting these on the back of your computer, so they need to be a certain size. I'm going to get a rectangle tool, and I'm just going to double click. Here's really where you'll know if you're in the wrong setting. If it says PT or points instead of inches, you might need to open your document again or change some settings. So the width is 7, and the height is 3. Once I've put those settings in, I'm going to hit OK. Now I'm in sort of a danger zone here, because when I look down at the bottom of my toolbar, I notice I have no color selected. So I really want to have no fill, so I'm going to put a red line through the fill, and I'm going to make it a black stroke. So I'm going to choose black for my stroke. That's really all we need is a black stroke, and we're going to grab that rectangle, and now that I have no fill, I have to grab right on the edge of it. It's kind of picky like that. And I'm going to put it right in the center of my page, and I'm going to make sure that my picture fits inside this box. It doesn't have to line up right to the edges, just kind of center it so it looks nice along the left. Now, in this space right here, you're going to be typing your first and last name so that people could clearly read it, and that's not a nickname or not a different font than what I'm choosing, just a really basic, easy to read across the room font. So I'm going to get my T tool, click once, and I'm going to type in all caps. So I pushed my all caps button down. I'm going to type Anna Noel. Now I'm going to shift drag, make it a little bit bigger. My name tends to be, oh my gosh, I spelled my own name wrong. How embarrassing. Probably want to double check that you spelled your own name correctly. So I have my name right, and now I'm going to request that everyone change your font to Arial Black. So by clicking on the font with your black arrow and going up to Type, Font, you should see Arial Black right down here in your list. Arial. And we're going to raise the size until it is about as large as it can go without pouring over into the sides. Now, if you have a really long name or if you have two last names, you may want to put it on two separate lines. Okay, so here is basically the setup that you're going to want to end up with when you print. Now, to print this, all you need to do is make sure that it looks how you want it to print, and then you're just going to go to File, Print, and make sure you are on the Color 1 or Color 2 printer for 704, depending on what your teacher instructs. And be sure to make sure to have the entire image within the print window here. So if for some reason it's off like that, you know that you need to make an adjustment, and then you're going to print. So that concludes the tutorial. There is also a worksheet that has the instructions with less detail that you can look at to make sure you get this created correctly.